24's Philip Turl from our International Affairs Desk, who's got his eyes squarely on the door of number 10 Downing Street.
That is true, Francois. And this was only supposed to be a welcome back cocktail party, and it's turned into a welcome back what are we going to do next party, as the Cabinet is meeting basically to discuss how to treat those members within the Conservative Party who may join forces with the opposition tomorrow to vote against the Prime Minister to try to thwart him from leaving the EU on the 31st of October without a deal. Now, I'll be a bit more clear in all of that if you like. These are not just any old MPs. You've got names like Oliver Letwin, Ken Clarke, who was even in the House of Commons before Britain joined the European Union in 1972. You have Dominic Grieve, you have David Gauke, the former Justice Secretary, you have Philip Hammond, the Chancellor of the Exchequer under Theresa May, and you may even have Theresa May herself, the former Prime Minister, who is very much against the idea of a no-deal Brexit. So what Boris Johnson is basically doing is saying, OK, if you decide to vote against me and try to stop me from leaving the EU on the 31st of October, not only will you lose your seat as a Conservative minister, a Conservative MP, but you will also be prevented from running in the upcoming election. So this is pretty serious stuff. But instead of making them think, OK, maybe we'll change our mind, it appears to be making them even more hard in their resolve not to follow the Prime Minister.
So precipitating the makeover of the Conservative Party.
So what Boris Johnson is worried about is that tomorrow there is probably going to be an emergency legislation going through to force him to go back to Brussels to ask for a prolongation of Article 50. Article 50 is the withdrawal deal with the European Union, which the date of which is now the 31st of October. Now, they might be pushing to get it pushed back until the 31st of January next year. This is something Boris Johnson definitely doesn't want to do. And the reason for that is that he says he has new legislation that he's drawn up to negotiate with the European Union with, to try to get a deal with them at the last minute before Britain leaves on the 31st of October. And he says, if the EU sees that people are trying to destabilise me, trying to upset me and trying to get me to extend Article 50, they're never going to come to the negotiating table and give me what I want. So you've got to join forces, and we've got to be in a position of solidarity and all of that, and all of this, to be strong opposite the EU in those final negotiations after the European summit, which is taking place in the middle of October.
All right.